I have a set of ground rules that I try to follow in community problem solving. I also try to follow these ground rules. I'm a mediator. I try to follow them when I'm mediating issues or disputes. I try to follow them when I'm in the state senate or in some position where I'm trying to lead a group to a certain place. And really just the kind of ground rules that I try to follow in day-to-day life. Many of them, frankly, have been created as a result of me learning lessons, sometimes hard lessons, as a part of life. But the very first rule, and I think it's one that needs to be the first rule in everything we do, is be willing to throw away the labels. And what I mean by that is too often in life we label one another. And we slap a label on somebody, and then once we do that, we act like that's all we need to do with that person. And of course in politics, my goodness, we see it really all the time. In fact, way too much. Oh, you're a Republican. Well, that's all I need to know about you. Or you're a Democrat. And once that happens, as we know, and we've seen it play out both at the state capitol and in Washington, D.C., all discussion seems to stop. It is the label that brings it to an end. But it doesn't have to be just in politics. Although I've enjoyed in kind of a strange way watching how we've taken the labels of Republican and Democrat and we act like that's not even enough. I saw recently where a Republican was criticizing another Republican and referred to that Republican as a rhino, a whole new label, a rhino, Republican in name only. And of course Democrats do the same thing. Well, we see that in other parts of life too. You know, somebody goes to a specific type of church, or somebody is a member of a club or a group or an organization, and we put that label on them. Oh, you're an environmentalist. Oh, you're with the Chamber of Commerce. We put labels on people all the time. The problem with that is that if all we do is look at the label, then we miss out on ever hearing what they might really have to say. Sure, the label may be an accurate label. They may be, in fact, a Republican or a Democrat or in the Chamber of Commerce or whatever is the situation. But if we're in a community problem-solving type situation, or we're trying to lead, or we're trying to bring about change, or try to build consensus around something, if we walk into the meeting, if we walk into the event, if we're trying to do this at a specific point in time, and we've put labels on everybody, and we've got those labels sitting out there, then we may miss out on what that person really has to bring to the table and has to say. Just because we put a label on something doesn't mean we know everything about that person. They may have life experiences or expertise that we could really use. So, my first rule is you have to leave the labels at the door, be willing to throw away the labels so that everybody gets to fully participate without being restricted by a label.